What if I told you there's a single number that could completely transform the way you think about money? A number that separates people who constantly struggle from those who quietly build real wealth? That number is £100,000. Getting to your first £100,000 in investments is brutal. Honestly, it's the hardest money you'll ever save. But once you cross that line, something almost magical happens. Your money starts working harder for you than you work for your money. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why hitting that first £100,000 is the most important financial milestone of your life. We'll look at why it feels so challenging, how compound interest becomes your best friend after you cross the mark, and the practical strategies you can start using today to get there faster. By the end, you'll understand why billionaire Charlie Munger famously said, "The first $100,000 is a big, but you've got to do it, because after that, everything changes." Story time. Let me introduce you to Sarah. She's 45, works full-time, earns £70,000 a year, and has been trying to save consistently for over a decade. She's managed to put away around £20,000, but it feels like she's constantly running in place. Between bills, family expenses, and unexpected costs, the progress is painfully slow. Sarah represents millions of people in midlife who are doing the right things, budgeting, cutting expenses, even investing a little, but not seeing the exponential growth they've heard about. Here's why. When you're starting from zero, compound interest is almost invisible. Let's say Sarah saves £500 per month and invests it at a 7% return. After 1 year, she's contributed £6,000. Her investments have earned just £200 in interest. Compared to the £6,000 she worked so hard to put aside, £200 feels like nothing. After 2 years, she's contributed £12,000 and earned maybe £800 in total returns. Still feels like peanuts. This is where most people give up. They think, investing doesn't work. Why bother? But what Sarah doesn't realize is that she's laying the foundation for something incredible. Every dollar she saves today is creating a snowball that, once large enough, will start rolling downhill on its own. Here's the math. If you save £10,000 per year and earn 7% returns, it takes about 7.8 years to hit your first £100,000. Nearly 8 years of grinding before you see any meaningful payoff. But once you reach that £100,000 mark, the game changes. The second £100,000 takes just over 5 years. The third takes under 4. The fourth, just 3. It's not magic. It's compound interest finally kicking in. There are 3 big reasons why the first $100,000 feels impossible. 1. Psychology. We live in a world of instant gratification. Wealth, on the other hand, requires years of delayed gratification with very little visible progress at first. You're essentially paying your future self, but your future self can't thank you yet. 2. Contribution dominance. In the early years, you are doing nearly all the work. If you're saving £1,000 per month, your investments might only add £50 per month in growth. It feels pointless. But that flips later, and compound interest eventually does most of the work. 3. Perspective. Most people don't grasp what £100,000 actually represents. At 7% returns, £100,000 earns about £7,000 per year. That's nearly £600 a month. Money you didn't lift a finger to earn. That's a car payment, part of a mortgage, or even a small safety net for emergencies. And it grows bigger every single year. Let's zoom out. If you save £10,000 per year and invest at 7%, here's how the journey unfolds. Years 1 to 7. You're grinding to reach £100,000. You've contributed £78,000 and earned about £22,000 in growth. You're still doing most of the work. Years 8 to 13. You're building the second £100,000. You contribute £51,000, but now compound interest contributes nearly the same amount. Years 13 to 17. By the third £100,000, compound interest is contributing more than you are. The snowball has officially taken over. By the time you reach £500,000, your investments generate over £35,000 a year, more than 3 times what you're putting in. At £1 million, your portfolio grows by around £70,000 per year, whether you save another penny or not. This is why wealthy people seem to get wealthier so quickly. It's not luck. It's math. They've crossed the compound interest threshold. But here's something even more powerful. What happens in your mind once you reach £100,000? When you've built that level of wealth, you start thinking differently about money. Every penny becomes an opportunity to grow, not just something to spend. You stop chasing instant gratification because you've trained your patience muscle. Most importantly, £100,000 gives you options. Maybe you can take a career risk, change jobs, start a side business, or simply breathe easier knowing you've built a solid financial cushion. So, how can you reach that first £100,000 faster, especially if you're starting in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s? Don't just focus on cutting expenses, look for ways to earn more, negotiate a raise, switch to a higher paying job, or build a side hustle. Extra income accelerates your journey massively. Track your spending for 1 month. Cut what doesn't add value, especially in the big three: housing, transport, and food. Redirect those savings straight into investments. For most people, low-cost index funds are the best option. Automate your contributions so the money moves before you can spend it. Use tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks, IRAs, or ISAs to maximize growth. Don't obsess over the £100,000 target. Obsess over saving a fixed percentage every month and automating it. Small, repeatable actions will get you there. Celebrate milestones. When you hit £10,000, £25,000, £50,000, celebrate. These mini wins keep you motivated through the long grind. Talk to others who are also building wealth. Avoid the constant complainers who never take action. The journey to your first £100,000 is tough. It takes discipline, patience, and a willingness to delay gratification when the results feel tiny. But it's worth it, because once you cross that line, everything changes. Mathematically, your money starts compounding at a meaningful level. Psychologically, you build confidence and patience. Practically, you gain freedom and options. So here's your action plan today. Calculate your net worth. Automate an investment, even if it's just £100 a month. Look for ways to grow your income. Cut expenses that don't serve you. The first £100,000 is the hardest, but it's also the most important. Every wealthy person you've ever heard of had to cross this threshold, and you can too. Let's do this.